I can't believe Roger married someone so low class. There are plenty of women from good families out there. Low class. My sister-in-law looked down on me, no doubt about it. This was the first time anyone had ever insulted me so blatantly. Is it okay to belittle someone this much based on money and education? I was fuming inside. My name is Alice. I'm 26 years old. Last year, I married Roger, a 28-year-old man. I work at a cake shop run by my mom, and it just so happened that I was the one who served Roger when he first came in. He lives somewhere nearby and started coming into the store more often. Eventually, after some persistent efforts on his part, we exchanged numbers. Our relationship developed from there, and we started going out together. As we spent time together, I started to notice something. Turns out, Roger is from a ridiculously wealthy family. His parents own several businesses and currently live in France. Roger himself also runs an IT-related company. He drives a fancy sports car and lives in a condominium that's more than spacious for one. As I got to know all this, I started feeling increasingly uneasy. I felt like the worlds we lived in were just too different. Despite my concerns, he finally made a formal proposal.
Alice, will you marry me?
Roger, I appreciate the offer, but I'm worried.
Why? What's bothering you?
Well, you and your family are incredibly wealthy. Our worlds just seem so different. I don't know if we can make it work.
It doesn't matter. The house, the money, none of that is important. What's important is how we feel about each other.
Roger reassured me with those words. I was touched by his words, feeling that maybe we could make it together. I accepted Roger's proposal. When Roger told his parents in France about our engagement over the phone, they immediately approved, saying, "If it's someone Roger chose himself." However, the issue was Roger's sister, Hillary. She's 32 and has a 4-year-old daughter. Hillary's husband also runs a business, and the family lives in a high-rise apartment in a prime location. Roger didn't get into the details to spare my feelings, but it seemed that Hillary was against our marriage. Still, Roger reassured me.
No matter what my sister says, I'm going to marry you, Alice. We could even have a small ceremony abroad, just the two of us. What do you think?
Although a bit unsure, I was moved by Roger's passion and accepted his idea. And so we held a small wedding ceremony and became a happily married couple. Later, we returned to his home country and started our life together in his condo. One day, the home phone rang. Roger was out for work, and I was alone. "Hello?" "Hello. This is Hillary, Roger's sister." Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Alice." "You're Alice? I heard you two had a small wedding. Just the two of you?" "Yes, we did." "Was that your idea?" No, it was Roger's idea, and I agreed." Surprising. Running off and getting married like that? So your family owns a bakery, right?" "Yes." "And do you work there?" "Yes, I do." "Since when?" Since I was 16. "What? 16? What about high school?" "I dropped out and started working right away." "You're kidding, really?" "Yes, it's true." "Why didn't you go to high school?" "Well, there were various circumstances." "Ah, so you dropped out of school, huh?" "Yes." "Well, I went from elementary all the way through college in a pre-K college school, so it's surprising to me that people drop out these days." After that, Hillary continued to ask me various personal questions. An hour of this back and forth left me emotionally drained by the time I finally hung up. The way she spoke to me, her entire demeanor felt condescending. Later that night when Roger got home, I told him about my conversation with Hillary. Hearing this, he looked visibly frustrated.
She intentionally called when I wasn't around, didn't she? Alice, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
"It's okay."
I've known for a while that my sister doesn't approve of our marriage. but it doesn't matter what she thinks. This is my marriage, not hers. If she calls again, you don't have to answer."
That's what Roger said. I still had some worries, but I knew that Roger cared for me, and I had made up my mind to marry him. Regardless of what anyone said, I decided to focus on building a happy home. Then one day, after Roger got back from work, he told me,
"Alice, my parents are actually coming back from France."
"Oh?"
"Yeah, we've already told them we got married, so my mom and dad said they'd like to meet you and your mom. They suggested we all get together for a meal."
"I see." My heart started pounding. This meant I would be meeting Roger's parents for the first time. And that also meant I'd be face to face with that Hillary I had talked to over the phone.
"So it's going to be the first time you're meeting my parents, huh?"
I lost my dad a while back, and Mom was living alone in her house. Roger had already visited and greeted my mom, who was completely on board with our marriage. A dinner gathering, huh? Makes me a little nervous.
"Don't worry, you'll be fine,"
Roger reassured me. The dinner would take place at an upscale hotel restaurant booked entirely for the occasion by Roger's parents. Roger's family attending the event would include his parents, Hillary's husband, and their 4-year-old daughter, and oddly enough, Hillary's in-laws. On my end, it would just be my mom. Finally, the day before the big dinner arrived, I was working at the bakery as usual. Mom said, "I'll bring these treats with us for everyone tomorrow," as she packed up the shop's most popular sweets. After finishing my work, I went home and found myself pondering in front of my closet, deciding what to wear for tomorrow's dinner. That's when the phone rang. It was from Hillary. Roger had told me to ignore her calls, but I thought this might be something urgent about tomorrow, so I picked up. "Hello? Alice, do you have a minute?" "Yes." "Look, about tomorrow's dinner. Would you mind not coming?" "Excuse me?" "I don't know how much you're aware of, but—" Hillary then went on a long spiel about how her parents have assets worth around $300 million, own several properties in France and domestically, and that all the attendees of the dinner are graduates from top-notch colleges or postgraduate programs. My husband's family also comes from a long line of wealthy people. They have a dignified history. In some ways, they're even more impressive than us. Business owners, doctors, college professors, lawyers. Well, that's generally the type of careers they're in." "Right. So what I'm getting at is, if you show up at the dinner meeting tomorrow, you'll definitely stand out." "Stand out?" "Yes, you're a dropout, right?" "Yes." "So naturally you would stand out at the dinner. You probably won't even keep up with the level of conversation. And it might be awkward for your mom, too." But... Don't interrupt me. You know what I mean, right? It's just not the right place for you. Or maybe it's like you're from a different world altogether. You don't want to embarrass yourself in front of everyone, do you? True, I didn't go to high school, and my family isn't wealthy. But I'm married to Roger now, so I at least want to formally meet and greet his parents. That's exactly why I told Roger it wouldn't work out. He never listens. So, did you have your sights set on marrying into money? Are you after our fortune? You must have been the one to make advances toward Roger, right? That's not true. There should have been better options for Roger. I don't know how he ended up with you. In any case, don't come to the dinner meeting tomorrow. I'll come up with some excuse for you. Say you're feeling unwell or something. As far as our family is concerned, it's enough if just Roger shows up." "But Roger is marrying someone so unsophisticated when he could have been with someone of a better pedigree." "Unsophisticated?" I apologize for speaking my mind like that. Anyway, please skip tomorrow's dinner, so let's leave it at that." With that, Hillary abruptly ended the call. I was shaking with anger and disbelief. Tears started flowing from the frustration. I had never been insulted like this before. At the same time, I started to lose confidence. Could I really hold a conversation in front of Hillary and her family who speak to me like this? With these thoughts, I called my mom and told her everything. Mom listened attentively, and said firmly, "I'll handle it." So the day of the dinner arrived. Roger's parents had also gathered at the reserved restaurant. Hillary showed up fashionably dressed head to toe in designer brands, hand in hand with her daughter. "Mom, Dad, it's been a while. You both look well. Oh, Alice couldn't make it due to poor health."
What? But this dinner was supposed to be for meeting Alice.
"Yes, that was the main reason we came back to the country." Then Roger spoke up.
Poor health. Sis, don't lie. Alice and her mom are here. Alice?
At Roger's call, my mom and I appeared. "Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all." Hillary looked shocked, with her eyes wide open.
Oh, Alice, we finally meet. Are you feeling all right?
"Feeling all right. I'm perfectly fine, as you can see." Hillary frowned but remained silent, and so we exchanged greetings and sat down to begin the meal. Roger's parents were really easygoing and seemed to go out of their way to put me at ease. Then, out of the blue, Hillary turned to me with a question. "So, Alice, what's your area of expertise?" "My expertise?" "Yes, what did you major in at college?" "Well, you see, our family mostly has a background in economics and business. That's true for Dad and Roger, too. So what about you, Alice?" "Actually, I didn't go to college. I only finished middle school." The room went silent when I said this. Hillary cracked a slight smile.
Why bring that up now, sis?
Roger started to speak, but my mom interrupted him. "It's all right. Let me explain our situation." My mom prefaced it like that and then looked around the room. "Alice is not my biological child." The room was shocked again. "My husband and I couldn't have children, so we adopted Alice from an orphanage when she was just a baby. Alice grew up without knowing this, but she discovered the truth in her second year of middle school when she stumbled upon some documents from the orphanage. We had to tell her the truth." Everyone listened to Mom's story with serious faces. "When Alice found out, she was unbelievably shocked, and then my husband got sick. His illness progressed rapidly, and he passed away. We run a bakery, and losing him was a significant blow. We were struggling financially. That's when Alice said, 'I'll drop out and work in the shop right away.' I told her to go to high school, but her mind was made up. Knowing that they aren't my biological parents, but still raised me with so much love and care, I felt grateful to them. Despite my tantrums, my parents indulged me. They scolded me when I needed to be scolded, so I wanted to work in the bakery and help Mom, who was now alone."
When I heard about this from Alice, I just fell even more in love with her. I mean, think about it. If you found out as a teenager that your parents weren't your biological parents, and that money was tight because your dad passed away, you could have easily gone off the rails, rebelled, or even run away, right? But Alice decided to be thankful and started working to give back. That's why I wanted to marry her.
After Roger finished speaking, his parents had tears in their eyes.
Roger, you really did find an incredible person.
"Absolutely. It's been a long time since I've been this touched. Alice, please take good care of Roger from now on. And thank you, Alice's mom, for sharing all of this with us. She's such a thoughtful daughter." "Yes, blood connection or not, Alice is our precious daughter, so I'm very thankful to Roger, who chose her as his wife and is treating her so well." With that, my mom brought out a bag of homemade sweets. "We brought some of our homemade sweets for everyone. Please take some home." Mom handed out the sweets, and everyone was delighted. On the other hand, Hillary looked anything but pleased. Roger turned to Hillary and began to speak.
Hillary, do you get it now? I was the one who was totally smitten and went after her aggressively. We're married because of that. Stop making unfounded accusations that Alice is after my money.
Then Hillary responded. "What, Roger? What are you talking about? I never said any such thing. Stop lying."
It's not a lie. Listen.
Roger then turned up the volume on his mobile phone, playing a recorded conversation. It was a conversation between Hillary and me from last night. Roger had told me to record any phone conversations I had with Hillary, so I had quickly pressed the record button yesterday. Everyone heard Hillary's voice pressuring me to skip the dinner party and ridiculing me. The part where Hillary accused me of marrying Roger just for his money was also played for all to hear. Hillary froze, looking really awkward, and all eyes turned to her. Even Hillary's husband and her parents had their eyes wide open in disbelief.
Hillary, what an inappropriate thing to say.
Her husband was astonished. Even their 4-year-old daughter chimed in. Mommy, stop being mean. At this, Hillary was speechless. She was sweating from the awkwardness and looked down. And so the dinner party came to an end. I bumped into Hillary in the restroom as I was leaving. She let out a big sigh, and then completely ignored me, walking past at a fast pace. The next day my phone rang. It was Hillary. Given that she'd ignored me and sighed heavily the day before, I thought talking to her again wouldn't lead to anything good, so I didn't answer. She kept calling, again and again. I hesitated, but continued to ignore her, thinking she would probably just berate me again. Finally, her calls became so persistent that it started to freak me out, so I blocked her number. A few days later, a sealed letter arrived from Hillary. I was scared to open it, but Roger and I decided to see what was inside together. Then, I apologize for the harsh things I said last time. The truth is, my mother-in-law loves the sweets from Alice's shop. She wants to place a large order for her hobby tea parties. She's been pressing me to contact you daily, which is why I've been calling. I was going to reach out to the shop directly, but I felt I had to apologize to Alice first. I'm truly sorry for the hurtful things I've said. I've reflected deeply on it. Please contact me as soon as possible. Hillary. Expecting some snide comment, I found myself, unintentionally, laughing with Roger. As we read the apology and the request. So I immediately reached out to Hillary. Alice, thanks for calling me back, and I'm really sorry for all the terrible things I said. My mother-in-law fell in love with the sweets we got at the dinner party. They really stand out. She was quite impressed. Could we place an order for several kinds? Of course, I'd be happy to accommodate. Really? You're a lifesaver. After that, Hillary stopped being nasty to me. Even better, she started placing a lot of orders at our bakery, causing our profits to soar. The shop became so busy that just Mom and I couldn't keep up. Now we've even hired part-time employees. Roger said,
I've always hated my sister for being so bossy and domineering, but she's mellowed out now, thanks to Alice. Thank you.
Upon further inquiry, it turned out Hillary had been worried that her in-laws would look down on her because her husband's family was wealthier and because her brother married a woman who had dropped out of school. But it was all in Hillary's head. Her in-laws actually loved the cakes from our shop after the dinner party. It seemed like Hillary had reflected on her behavior. Time passed, and recently, I found out I'm pregnant. When I shared the news, Roger, both our parents, and even my mom were thrilled. I'm spending my days looking forward to the baby's birth. Once the child is born, I plan to build an even happier family with Roger.